Well, Larry, I know you've answered this. I'm going to ask you one more time. You're feeling good with the knee. I know it's not a done process, but is still no setbacks and everything's still going well, I assume.
I feel awesome. No setbacks, like you said, and we just keep moving forward week by week, day by day, and I'm feeling great.
Right. What's going to be the next hurdle? I mean, I know we've talked. You haven't been cleared for contact. I'm sure that will happen. There's no timetable yet, but is that the next hurdle, so to speak, in your recovery?
Well, yeah, that hurdle will happen, but that's a big one I don't have a whole lot of control over. That's the doctor, Lance, the trainer, and Coach Shai. Those three are the main guys. But the main thing for me right now is just getting confidence back, on the court. And there are a few things now still we're all due and think it might hurt, it should hurt, but it doesn't. And that's a great feeling when you can start getting back the confidence to do what you used to do.
And I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think that confidence is, at least as we speak?
We've been building it up, and I'd say I'm about an 8, 8.5. I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, you've been around this for a long time. I know. It was interesting when you said when you came in, you were 6 freshmen, one of 6 freshmen, and there were 6 seniors here.
Right.
Now it's flipped around.
Right.
Do you see? I mean, I know Coach Scheid said a culture has been established here. So, but do you see any correlations or similarities from when you were a freshman with the 6 seniors now that you're one of those 6 seniors and these freshmen are in? Are there correlations, or is it completely different?
There's a little bit, but it's mainly different. I mean, that first group of seniors came in not really knowing what to expect, a new coaching staff, they had a whole new remodeling, so they were a little bit caught off guard, kind of stuck to themselves. But with our group, we try and reach out to the freshmen as much as we can. And I mean, there's been all this talk about the seniors and freshmen, but you can't forget about Josh, who's a major asset to the team. Obviously, Jason, Alan, and Trey, which I guess Alan's still technically a freshman.
Right.
No, it's a great relationship we have with those guys, and I love their eagerness to learn and ask questions. Us seniors do appreciate that, because we knew when we came in, too scared.
Right.
Way too scared.
Right. Well, obviously, this team is, and you yourself have been through a lot with, your injury last year. I know even with juniors missing the last few games, the year before, Luke missing a big part of the season, and, going and playing UNLV in the conference tournament on their home floor a couple times when it's their, home game.
Exactly.
You guys have dealt with an awful lot of adversity, and look, hopefully, your recovery is going to be just fine, but everything you guys have faced over the years, look, I'm sure you'd like to just have a season where you just have the regular ebbs and flows of a season, let alone injuries or this or that. But I feel like you guys can pretty much face anything, looking ahead as far as adversity goes.
I agree. That's one thing I credit to Coach Scheid is I've seen it all now. I've been around guys from New York, guys from Ohio, guys from Florida, California, everywhere, and the amount of diversity it takes to come together as a team. And then you lose one of those guys, and the more you come together as a team, and I think because of that, this group we have now has learned to cope with being apart or being separated a little bit. That we're doing everything we can to not let that happen.
Right.
We've talked a lot about close-knit groups in the past, like last year and the year before, but there's something to be said for the 6 seniors. We're a pretty strong group altogether. I think adversity is going to strike this season, but I don't think in the way it has before.
But would you like, Larry, I think most teams would probably like this, but like I said, you're going to maybe have shooting slumps or maybe even a rough stretch where you drop a game or two. But just decide to get rid of all these major injuries or things that have happened off the floor, off the court that maybe have kept guys out. If you can just avoid some of those things, and again, some of those things maybe are things you can control. That, I mean, the 6 seniors, you guys have won 20 games. I'm sure this is a pretty special feeling with this group if you can just avoid some of the adversity things that maybe you can control. Do you think this could be an awful special season if you can do that?
I do, because obviously you're going to have an off shooting night, but Coach Scheid, we're defense. That's what we do. You might drop a few games, but we've seen worse. There's been so many things that we've seen over the years that you can always say, it wasn't that. We can bounce back from this. We've seen the worst of it, and we bounce back. So whatever the season brings, we'll be ready for it.
Right. And last thing, I know, again, there's no timetable. No, when I talked to you earlier this fall, still goal is to get back for that season opener. Is that still the plan? I mean, I know best laid plans can change, and it's a long season, but is that still at least a goal for you, is to be ready for that opener?
No question.